Hello, MSers, family MSers, kid MSers, adult MSers, female MSers, male MSers, all the different MSers out there. Uh, get my coffee. It's half gone. Last cup. Starting to get cold. It is my life with MS day. Uh, Nothing too exciting going on with me. Got an electrician finally coming today to at least look at stuff for a quote. Hopefully he'll come back and do the work. Uh, Other than that, it's been hot, humid still. Not too bad in the afternoons, evenings. Been leaving doors open instead of running air conditioners and stuff like that. That way the cat can wander in and out, do what he feels like. See how many critters he can bring in. Haven't had no more tick issues since those two. I don't have it next to me, but we picked up a bottle of all natural type of oil, like an essential oil, but you put like half a dropper into their food if they're 10 pounds or less. 10 pounds or more is like 1 3/4 droppers twice a day. It's like the half a dropper for 10 pounds to 1 3/4 droppers for above 10 pounds. Last time we went to the vet, Lemmy was just over 11, like 11 and a half pounds. And that he didn't want her to, on him to get over uh, 12 pounds. But he's been pretty active so far this summer, so that's a good thing. Uh, Late at night, hauling ass throughout the house, running up and downstairs, playing outside during the day and stuff, so he's getting his activity. But he is still a little over 10 pounds, so I considered doing the 1 3/4 droppers, but it seems like so much oil on his food to mix it in. But I went with the half a dropper twice a day, and he just licks his plate clean, so it must be a good tasting oil. It must have a good salmon taste in there. So, but yeah, that's the wife bought it off Amazon. I don't know the brand or anything, but you can look up natural uh, protection type things for ticks on your pets, on your cat, your dog. But this is supposed to work for ticks, fleas, other critters, which I'm hoping it'll help with his ear bugs. But yeah, he really likes it. So I've been giving it to him twice a day, no problem, not having to hide it from him and try and get it pushed in the food. I can just leave it dripped over the food and he's happy with it. So that is a good thing. They're finally starting to make stuff that the animals aren't freaked out by, don't stick their nose up to. But other than that, just had those two ticks in those 2 days, back to back days, and nothing since. So hopefully this stuff will work good. Uh, Skeeters are starting to come in at night. Haven't It's been a very mellow summer for with all the humidity we had and stuff. Mosquitoes weren't that bad. Usually 4th of July, you're getting carried away by mosquitoes. We didn't have no problems with them. Doors and windows were open. I like that. But other than that, as far as I go, only issues I've been really having problems with in the last week, other than my vertigo and gait issues, is my eyes are going through these phases where they're just totally fuzzy, looking through fuzzy goggles. then you blink to try and make it clear itself up, and then you got a big blotch on a different area, then a big white blotch somewhere else. I don't know what's going on with that. TV is starting to get fuzzy far away. Computer's fuzzy. Whereas I only had to wear my cheater glasses when I was reading something up close. So I should make my eye appointment since I didn't do it this year. Get in there and just have them looked at, I guess. But I don't want to fork out $700-800 for another freaking pair of glasses. I'll keep my frames, so I don't know how much lens would be. If it would be under 300, then I'd be all right with it as long as they were single glasses, not bifocals or trifocals. Those just sit in their box. I can't stand them. Uh, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, the vertigo and gait issues are kind of like acting up more and more, mostly because of working outside, and I got to get these stupid pothole type things filled in my yard. Yeah, probably a good dozen or so that if I step in just wrong, it's like I could roll an ankle easily. Uh, but I just don't know. I don't know what the rules are in the world when it comes to dirt. I mean, is there a place that we can go and get free dirt? Or do I have to buy a semi load of dirt and have it dumped off? And if I do, I got a big tree over the top of my driveway, which we're not getting no dump truck in here. So they'd have to come by pickup truck or something like that, or a trailer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to contact some companies, I guess. All I can think of is gravel pits, quarries. But I would assume that's where I'd get my pea gravel so I could get my driveway leveled out the way I want. I could easily use a dump truck full of pea gravel to do that. Still got to kill more of the weeds and grass, but the pump mixture that I make with the gallon of vinegar, a cup of regular table salt, and then a splash of Dawn dish soap, that worked out good, but it still looked like some things weren't dead and some things were starting to grow again. So there's someone else that uses arthritis. It's like an arthritis rub. Put like 3 tablespoons of that in there. So I'm gonna try that on the next batch, which I'll probably make tomorrow. But other than that, I just been going through the normal issues, pain, fatigue, all that, but nothing new or overly serious that I gotta worry about. Still don't have a doctor appointment again until like September, I think, which is good. I like taking a few months off from that shit. Let's see what we got here to talk about that people wrote up and made up. See if I agree or not. Don't forget, ask your doctors, your doctor staff, whoever, your nurses. Check with them before you do anything. Don't follow anything I mention. I'm just giving my opinion about stuff. Not telling anybody to do this stuff. But managing symptoms mindfully, different ways that you can do it. This one kind of caught my eye. Acupuncture, acupressure, I get it. For overall body, it works awesome. But for stimulating the brain, I was curious how they're going to do that. Uh, they say the more things going on in our mind, the more our brains have to work to remember things. Acupuncture and acupressure therapy show that Once stress and anxiety are reduced even minimally, it allows for more space to hold on to the things that we need and want to remember in a quicker and more efficient way. Uh, and if you're sensitive to touch, you don't want to do acupressure or acupuncture. Um, you don't want to use a TENS unit. I found that out with my body being asleep from my rib cage, bottom of my rib cage to my toes and my forearms, fingertips. You put a TENS unit on there, and I am in severe pain from it. Uh, yeah, craniosacral therapy is also a good alternative, and they could explain what craniosacral therapy is. That would be nice, but I'm guessing they're just talking about doing acupuncture and acupressure throughout the body, but not doing it on the head. I thought maybe we'd see something with the cranium, but I guess that's what probably the craniosacral therapy is. Probably like a head massage type therapy or something. I don't know for sure. I've never heard of it or had it. Sorry, I'm drinking my coffee kind of fast because it's down to the bottom and it's getting cold. Breathing and meditation. I love meditation. Whenever you're in severe pain, laying in a hospital, whatever, just in through the nose, out through the mouth. And it doesn't hurt now that I learned with the lymphedema therapy to breathe in through your nose, and when you breathe out through your mouth, when you breathe in through your nose, make sure your stomach's filling, it's stretching out. And when you breathe out through the mouth, make sure your stomach's pulling in. But you should make sure that your breathing out period is longer than your breathing in period. That's something I learned with the lymphedema therapy. I don't know how it affects our lymph juice. Uh, you would think either way it wouldn't really affect anything in our bodies, breathing in or breathing out, as far as any like fluids going through our bodies. But they say it does, so I stick with that style now. Mindfulness meditation and stuff. It's wonderful. Anytime I'm in the hospital, I'm sick, I'm in pain, or I'm at home and I'm in a bunch of pain, and I'm usually when I get into a bunch of pain, I either grab my big giant ice pack, lay it across wherever the pain area is, and I usually, if I have a blanket by me, I'll throw the blanket over my head. I'll hide under the blanket, just sit there doing breathing routines, trying to work out the pains. The wife knows pretty much if the blanket goes up over half my face or over my whole body, she knows I'm going through something. She checks on me, but pretty much lets me flow through it because she knows if I need something, I will say something, but I'm usually just hemming and hawing. I just don't know why, but I am stuck with these breathing noises that I do when I'm in pain. And it's like, it's like, I just all kinds of different breathing out. I'll do that. I'll be mowing the lawn and I don't catch it until after I've done it for a bit. And it's like, I can just imagine the neighbors, freak's talking to himself again. He's doing all kinds of weird stuff with his face again. That's, I'm sure the neighbors love me, but I can't constantly make noises. I'll be in a store and I'll be making noises. My gait or vertigo issues acting up. So yeah, it's it's a strange thing I do. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I'm constantly blowing air out my mouth and nose, just to relieve my body of certain pains. It doesn't help, but it helps. I don't know how to really say it. It's kind of it's like a placebo. It's like it doesn't really do anything, but it does because mentally it helps me. Makes me feel a little relief for a second, and then the pain just increases again. Same with some of my MS hugs, the ones where I can take little sips of cold water and I'll be able to relieve the pain a little bit, but then it starts squeezing again right away, and I'll take a sip and relieve. And then eventually you got so much water in you that you gotta go to the bathroom every 15 minutes, and then you're trying to go to the bathroom and the MS hugs hit during that. That's not good. But hugs haven't been too bad. I had them last night. Before that was probably a good week and a half before that. Eh, no, because I did stop the shedding before I even started grabbing box. Had the MS hug kick in when me and my wife stopped to grab some stuff. But yeah, just mindfulness medication is great. I love just sitting out this time of year. Just go find a spot in your yard or take a drive somewhere where you can go out in the woods and just sit comfortably and just listen to nature with your eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and longer out through your mouth, and just focus on that. Just think about the damn breathing. Your mind may wander. Mine constantly does. I've done it for years, and my mind still wanders. But if it does, then just go right back to paying attention to your breathing. And the mind's gonna do what the mind's gonna do. So just work with it. And eventually the mind usually gets happy then and enjoys the meditation routine and turns itself off and just relaxes. But yeah, it's hard. I'm lucky if I go, I want to say 5 minutes, but it's more like 2 minutes before my mind wanders off. Uh, I'll do meditation. Well, you can do it while you're walking. You can do it while you're sitting. You can do it while you're laying down. It's just so versatile. I love meditation. I think it's a big proponent for helping us. I mean, I was dying in IC in the intensive care unit, bleeding to death internally, and all I did for like 3 days is just do my meditation, my breathing routine, and when I breathed in, I imagined good air coming in, healing air, and going right to the spots where I had a lot of pain. Breathe out nasty, the pain, the black, the darkness that's inside of us that's causing us issues. I just imagine that I'm blowing that out when I blow outward, and I'll also do the full body thing where I'll breathe in and imagine that it's going all the way through me down to my toes. And I breathe out and it's coming up from the toes, and I'll go to the ankle, the calf, the knee, and just work my way through my whole body, breathing, meditating throughout the whole thing. And for some reason, I don't know, it's not like I'm doing anything medically to myself, but it does help. Hell, I was supposed to be dead within 5 days of being in an intensive care unit. I was supposed to bleed to death internally. Could not fix the area because it was on the curve of the aorta. It would not heal itself if they did try to do an operation. But yet it healed itself by me just, I like to think by me focusing on it, uh, fixing it with meditation, whatever. But I walked out of that hospital and I wasn't supposed to, and I put a good majority of that effort being because of doing the meditation and focusing on my body and just thinking about that. So like I was doing good things other than that for my body because I stayed awake for 3 days. I was hallucinating and kinds of interesting stuff. But yeah, mindful meditation is wonderful. Any type of meditation is wonderful. Essential oils, they do have a variety that are supposed to be beneficial to us. I know, like, I think peppermint, cinnamon. Let's see. 5 essential oils that can help with brain function and memory. Boosting are lavender, frankincense, vetiver. I've never heard of vetiver. Lemon and peppermint. So I use peppermint and frankincense and lavender a lot when I had my machine working. Now it's packed away in a box somewhere, so it'll be a little bit. I also like to take, well, when I was caretaker for Ma for 6 years, a lot of, I'd either do the peppermint or the lavender, where I'd just put like 5 drops on our air filter, then shove it back into the heater or air or central air unit when we were running that. Uh, and it just gets the scent all over the house. And it's just perfect for it. And if you're one of those people that are afraid of spiders, which you shouldn't be, we just pick them up and take them outside if we find any, or put them in my garage. I had quite a few interesting spiders in my garage at the moment. Can't wait to. I'm hoping in about a month, by September, I can start playing around with the garage and doing some work out there, and the humidity will be gone. But yeah, peppermint is something that spiders don't like, I guess. Or is, I could be wrong. Sorry about that. It's not spiders, it's mice. Big difference. Rodents and insects. Uh, but yeah, mice hate it. So we had our air filter in our car and truck got eaten up. Not sure if it was squirrels or mice, but or both. But the mechanics like to spray peppermint oil underneath your hood, and it'll deter them. So I did. I didn't have no problems after that. So definitely try that out if you have those issues. And it makes your car smell good when you run it and it heats up. That oil starts smelling again. Yoga, exercise, any of that's good for helping your brain and body function better. I love DDP yoga. I just had his book out, but I think I have it away again. I mean, Dallas Page has DDP yoga, so check that out. If you don't want to do your mama's yoga, you want to do something that's a little more fun to build around the way you like to do things and what your body allows you to do. You can design your own routine. There's so many different methods. He's got bed methods, chair stuff, regular stuff, all that. But any type of yoga and exercise is beneficial to the brains. There's brain games out there. There's, I don't know the website name, but there's at least two or three uh, brain exercise websites that I was on a year or two ago, uh, and it helped me and stuff. But I was researching them for my mom's dementia, hoping it would help her, but she was too stubborn at that point to even consider doing puzzles, mind games, anything like that, where you gotta think and not sure about stuff. So, let's see. What else? We don't care about transportation. Sensory stimulation can improve your movement and your confidence. Vision problems are some of the most common symptoms associated with MS. They are a large contributor to instability and fall risks. Most common eye complications include optic neuritis, which is an inflammation of the optic nerve that can cause pain and temporary loss of vision. I want to take that last sip, but that's tried to make it all the way through it. But optic neuritis is probably the top one that you hear about with MS. Uh, diplopia, which is more commonly known as double vision and can occur on one or both eyes. Nystagmus is a rapid, involuntary eye movements that affect vision and depth perception, but also balance and coordination. I don't know if you can see it, but I can do this thing where at least visually I feel my eyes going back and forth fast. Not sure how it looks. I'll have to check out the video later. But yeah, for some reason, since I've been having these new recent eye problems, that ability that I can do feels easier and more intense than it used to. It's faster feeling and stuff like that. So I don't know if this stuff is affecting other things in my eyes or what. That was just one of a couple oddball things I can do. Like my left thumb is double jointed. Can't really see how it's affecting it, but it pulls in and then pushes back. It's double jointed, but I can't do that with any other fingers. I thought that was always weird that I could just do my thumb. Uh, nystagmus, okay, that we just talked about with the rapid involuntary eye movements that affect vision and depth perception, but also balance and coordination. But yeah, when you're trying to focus in visually on something and your eyes are messing with you, it can throw your body off big time. Internuclear epth- ophthalmo- ophthalm- internuclear ophthalmoplegia, where one eye is slower to make left or right movements than the other eye, resulting in blurry vision when looking left or right. I can see that. The eye tracking. This exercise may be done seated or standing depending on your level of stability. Begin by holding your finger out in front of your face about an arm's length away. Slowly move your finger up and down and side to side in front of you, moving just your eyes along with your finger. Try not to move your head and remember to hold a soft gaze as you do this exercise. Perform for 30 seconds with each hand. Like, see, my eyes are going ahead of my finger. So I don't have it at an arm's length. But yeah, you get it. There's peripheral vision training. For this, sit somewhere comfortable where you can see something in the distance. As you look into the distance, start to wave your hands quickly to the side of your head to notify your eyes that your peripheral vision exists. Do not look at your hands waving. Keep looking into the distance. Perform for 1 minute. They have saccade training. These are different stimulation exercises, by the way. Saccades are rapid movements of the eyes that abruptly change the point of fixation. Again, this exercise may be performed seated or standing. Start by looking straight ahead, only moving the eyes. Look to the left and spot an object. Immediately look to the right and spot another object. Keep moving the eyes to the left object, then to the right object, slowly picking up pace. Perform for 20 seconds, rest, and repeat for 3 times. There's sensory gateway, there's vestibular, brainstem, and inner ear. This is vestibular system can be divided into two main systems. Central system, the brain and brainstem, and the peripheral system, the inner ear and pathways to the brainstem. Uh, okay, here they have that just explained it, and then they have the exercises separate for that one, where you got head turning, uh, turning the head with the eyes, start in a seated or standing position, turn the head and eyes to the left, spotting an object, immediately turn the head and eyes to the right, spotting another object. So basically, you're doing the same thing as the other one, and these are vestibular, which that was vestibular that we learned about before, but continue shifting the head and eyes from the left to the right for 20 seconds, rest, and then repeat. But this time looking up and down. Okay, now you're doing the side to side and up and down. Rest again, and then perform the exercise on a diagonal. Okay, I get it. There's sit to stand. Start seated in a chair that you can comfortably sit on the edge. Fixate your gaze on an object directly ahead of you. Holding the gaze, shift from a seated position to a standing position, and then slowly return to the seated position. Repeat this 10 times. So that's one of the exercises I had to do when I went in for gait issues. With my therapist, we got sit, stand, turn. Same as the last one, but you'll fixate the gaze on an object when going from a sit to stand. Once standing, slowly turn the entire body clockwise until you make one complete turn. Upon returning to the starting position, refixate the gaze on the object and slowly return to a seated position. Perform 5 times clockwise and 5 times counterclockwise. You got touch. Our hands and feet are some of the most sensation sensitive areas of the body, allowing us to connect our visual input with the external world. Uh, hmm, I guess they got those separate too. You got textured insoles, or 2 point discrimination, is one of the most effective ways for reconnecting to your feet. Um, Wearing textured insoles. When worn daily, subjects have associated textured insoles with improved foot sensation and balance coordination. Well, shit my britches, I might have to try a pair. You got whole body vibration. Dynamic movement creates vibration upon foot contact, making the simple act of walking an effective means to improve vibratory stimulation in those that have limited mobility. Whole body vibration platforms offer a similar benefit, mimicking the impact forces of walking, and can stimulate the nerves in the feet, build bone density, and enhance muscle strength. And they also have the sit, stand, turn thing going on with theirs. But yeah, lots and lots of things can really mess up our gait and mess with us overall. As far as other stuff to go over, what else do we got here for old notes that I have? Ooh, what do you need to know about getting rid of cramps? If cramp persists, people can usually relieve the discomfort at home. Stretch or massage the muscles. Used to work back in the day when I was younger, but now these cramps that I have are a whole different style. They pretty much feel like the cramps inside my bone marrow. You can rub and roll and vibrate, do whatever you want to it, and you don't feel no relief or like you're even touching that area. Heat or ice you can apply to it. Never really worked for me doing heat or ice, even in the old days with normal cramps. Uh, but if you do have a bad spasm or something, that little trick of doing 15 minutes with cold, 15 minutes with hot, bouncing back and forth is great for confusing your muscular system and can sometimes relieve you of sciatic issues and stuff like that. Uh, Cramps are most common in the following leg muscles: the quadriceps at the front of the thigh, hamstrings at the back of the thigh, gas, gastrocnemius at the back of the lower leg. Also, ankle and foot are huge areas with since MS kicked in more and more for me. And they suggest to stop whatever activity is causing your leg cramps. Well, mine are usually just for having a more productive day. I have worse issues at night because of it. I got 3 bottles that are filled to the top, buying all my bottles of leg cramp pills that are just all in your mouth. They don't help much, but it's something to mentally hope that you can break the pain. Nocturnal leg cramps, which often occur in the calf muscles, affect yeah, a bunch of people. Uh, You may be able to relieve this pain by stretching and massaging the calf. A lot of times, if I stretch in bed, that's when a cramp starts. So I don't think that's beneficial to me, at least. Uh, However, these cramps are often associated with underlying causes such as depression or heart problems. Yeah, I got both those issues. I can see that. Exercise associated muscle cramps. Um, they say drinking pickle juice may reduce the duration of a cramp. Uh, this, the pickle's juice acidity and salt content may stop cramps by affecting electrolyte levels. Um, Period cramps, dysmenorrhea refers to abdominal pains that occur during menstruation. There are two types, primary and secondary. Primary is cramping in the lower abdomen during menstruation with no other cause. Secondary dysmenorrhea occurs due to an underlying condition such as endometriosis or fibroids. They can vary in severity. Some may have mild discomfort, while others may have debilitating pain. Other symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, bloating, and more. You can treat menstrual cramps with heat therapy, moderate exercise, over the counter non steroidal anti inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, such as ibuprofen and oil contraceptive pills. I've heard sexual activity helps ease them also. Uh, when to speak with a doctor, you should always speak with a doctor. Always tell your doctor what's up and keep everybody up to date. They got a ton of ways to eat chia seeds. I still love chia seeds. They're excellent benefit to our immune system and our bodies. Um, Simplest way is just add them to water. Soak a quarter cup of chia seeds in 4 cups of water for 20 to 30 minutes. You can add some flavor by adding chopped fruit or squeezing a lemon, lime, or orange. They got juice soaked chia seeds, where you add a quarter cup of chia seeds to 4 cups of fruit juice and soak for 30 minutes to make a drink that's full of fiber and minerals. The chia pudding. Um, you can make chia pudding as you would chia water for a thicker pudding-like texture. Add more seeds and let the mixture soak longer. You can make it with juice or milk, including flavorings like vanilla and cocoa. You can put chia seeds in your smoothies. You can use them as a raw topping on any type of like oatmeal or smoothie or something like that. Ice cream, whatever you want to put it on top of. Uh, you can swap your usual cereal for chia cereal. There's chia truffles. Try chia truffles that combine dates, cocoa, and oats. You can put them in a stir fry. You can add them to a salad. salad dressing. You can bake them in bread. You can use them for a crumb coating for meat or fish. Bake them in cakes. Mix with other grains in breakfast bars, pancakes, jam, chia jam. That sounds good. Bake them in cookies, protein bars. You can put them in soup or gravy. You can use them as an egg substitute. Uh, Chia seeds make a fine substitute in recipes. To substitute for one egg, soak 1 tablespoon of chia seeds in 3 tablespoons of water. But then what do you do with them? I wouldn't think they cook up like an egg. Oh, that's weird to me. You can add them to dips. You can bake them in muffins. Add them to your oatmeal, your yogurt. You can bake them in homemade crackers. Use them as a thickener for homemade burgers and meatballs. Yeah, I can see that. As a homemade energy gel, you can buy chia gels online or make your own. Add them to tea. You can use them to make tortillas. Put them in ice cream pops, pizza base. I know there's, because I swore at one of our grocery stores I seen a chia based pizza crust. Um, to make falafel, in homemade granola, in homemade lemonade. Lots of different places you can use chia seeds. They're awesome. Probably one of the best things for us. Uh, let's see, burnout. Burning out is bad. Uh, Common signs of burnout is exhaustion, feelings of dread or lack of motivation, difficulty sleeping, inconsistent appetite. One day you got the munchies, one day you don't feel like eating at all. Cynicism and irritability. Uh, Things you can do to address burnout. You can rethink your screen time. See if your computer's burning you out, your online activity. Focus on self care. Um, take a break from things. Just relax yourself. Uh, Talk with a mental health professional. Be open to change, changing your routine around and stuff. And it's basically, I mean, if you're getting burnt out, anything you're doing is probably affecting that. So you should look at your routine and see if there's a way to cut things out of your routine to make it so you aren't burning yourself out. And think about it. If you're over 30 years old, there was a period of your life where you didn't have to deal with computers and social media. Now we spend half a day, the whole day, just worrying about social media and our computer activity. Not only can that burn you out, the repetitiveness, the amount of stuff that's out there, it can also affect your sleep routine, your eyes, all that. I like, oh, this is what I'm trying to do on a regular basis, but it not always works that way. I deal with my social life on during the day with social media and all that crap. When it gets late at night, the last couple hours of night, I like to, right now at this point, I am trying to spend at least an hour a day drawing and an hour a day reading. So I kind of focus on the end of the night for that to get my eyes off the screen so I can hopefully fall asleep easier. My mind's not sitting there wandering the whole time. because of the blue lights, blue screens, and all that. Just messes with our brains. And yeah,